I never know anyone that submitted themselves to be so involved in volunteering, you know?
And our whole community is so proud of everything that Joan did. And I hope that as we remember her, we just think about what a giant she was and what a difference she made in this community.
My first recollection of even knowing who Joan Canton was came after I had a meeting with Sheriff Darnell where I showed her these maps that I had made. And I had this hot spot. There were lots of hot spots, but I had this hot spot in Southwest Gainesville that I, as a high-risk obstetrician, I had no idea who lived there or what it was. And someone said, go show that to Sheriff Darnell. So I took it to Sheriff Darnell and she said, this is amazing because you ought to see my map. And she said, my map shows where we get the most calls for our services. And holy moly, it's the same hotspot. And we both looked at each other across her desk and said, we got to do something.
So we eventually came upon Katie Fields from the University of Florida, and she did a door-to-door survey along with some other people that were helping her. And she was briefed on the situation, so she was going door to door. Without prompting people, they were responding to a survey about what their needs were. What came out of that was the need for childcare, the need for transportation, the need for medical and dental assistance, the need for access to a clothes closet, food.
We started in the library, Tower Road Library. It was meet every Friday, and we just went around to each neighborhood with Miss Joan, her two sisters, and we just touched base on all neighborhoods.
So we're, as a community, we understand that we need to make investments in areas that have historically not had those investments. And so SWAG is a perfect example of where the community says, we don't want a handout. We want to be a part of improving the community together.
Joan Canton set the standard of care for her community, and her standard of care was very simple. Respect all who enter these doors, wherever they are in life, whether it be at the resource center, the health clinic, or the child center.
I met Joan Canton the very first time I went to the SWAG Family Resource Center. I was dropping off some donations, and as soon as I met Joan, I was immediately intrigued with what SWAG was and what SWAG did. Her personality just drew you in immediately and made you feel welcome and excited, but also made you want to do more and figure out how you could get more involved in SWAG.
So the thing about Joan is she had an incredible power of communicating in a single conversation the importance of community. And she did that one conversation at a time, one person at a time. And that's truly how community is built.
All of our big picture solutions at SWAG started with conversations that Joan had with people individually and how she could encourage them to make their lives better and to build up their community.
The importance of having Joan involved is she had such credibility. She had such integrity. She was a person of honor. She was, like I said, a pure spirit. So people knew that they could trust her and they could trust what she suggested. She made sure that things happened and that people were involved in a collaborative way. It wasn't just her way or the highway. It was a collaborative way. How can we collectively move forward for the good, for the greater good of everyone?
She just was always for her community. Very loving woman that loved her community where she stayed and didn't want to see all the young kids in trouble.
So the thing that Joan loved most in the world was her family. Her daughters, her grandkids, all of her extended family. And I think the thing that her family should be the most proud of is the impact that Joan left behind.
At an early stage in her life, she lost her husband, so she had to raise these girls. She became more than just a swagger for me personally, because she became a big sister. And beyond swag, she always was there to talk to you, to help you in any way possible. And I really miss her.
Miss Jones was very excited of getting this swag center here. That was her main goal, like going to the commissioners, like, hey, we need this over here. Why everybody have to always go across town? And she was really focused on getting this center. And then when they got it, oh my God, that was like the best day in the world, and everybody was out here.
Joan continues to live on through each of us, through each of her family members and through each of the community members and through everyone, not only that she touched personally, but who learn about Joan's life.
When SWAG started, it was just a group of people that were gathered in a library meeting. And now there's a resource center, a health clinic, and a child center. And all of that is part of Joan's vision. And that is truly what her legacy is. Joan talked about equity and bringing different groups of people together long before there were the buzzwords that are out there now.
I think she, like I said, she one of the most incredible human beings I ever met in my life. And I love her dearly and I miss her dearly.
Ready on three? Yeah. 1,